I'd like to welcome you to the April 2nd, 2019 School Board meeting of Seminole County, Florida. At this point in time, I'd like to turn the mic over to Mrs. Almond, our Vice Chairman, to lead us in our invocation and pledge, please.
Thank you, Dr. Calderon. Always pray to have eyes that see the best, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgets the bad, and a soul that never loses faith. You can find other inspirational messages on livelifehappy.com. Please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. I have two acknowledgement forms, that of Bobby Aganina from Lake Howell High School, Vice President of SCA, welcome this evening, and Dawn Ballou, Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, welcome. Thank you for being here. Dr. Griffin, do you have any agenda modifications, please?
Yes, Madam Chair and board members, I actually have 10 modifications this evening, so bear with me. The first, the addendum item for good cause, is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. I am pulling from the agenda the following items. Item 4AC, Policy 1122, Non-Discrimination and Equal Employment Opportunity. Item 4AE, Policy 1362, Anti-Harassment. Item 4AG, Policy 2260, Non-Discrimination and Equal Education Opportunity. Item 4AH, Policy 3122, Non-Discrimination and Equal Educational Opportunity. Item 4AJ, Policy 3362, Anti-Harassment. Item 4AL, Policy 4122, Non-Discrimination and Equal Educational Opportunity. Item 4AM, Policy 4362, Anti-Harassment. Policy 4AP, Item 4AP, Policy 5517, Anti-Harassment. And finally, Item 4AQ, Policy 5517-02, Sexual Violence.
Thank you so much. Board members, do anyone have items for removal, clarifying questions, or like?
Ma'am.
No, Madam Chair.
None. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this point in time, we have quite a few presentations, so let's all join each other on the floor.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin, Dr. Calderon, board members. It is my privilege this evening to introduce you for our Seminole County Public Schools Veteran Recognition for this month, Master Sergeant Paul Moss of the United States Air Force. Mr. Moss. Master Sergeant Paul Moss, formerly of Baltimore, Maryland, enlisted in the United States Air Force in May 1993 and completed his basic training at Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas. He graduated from the 63-week Chinese Mandarin Cryptologic Language Basic Course at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California, and the Basic Cryptologic Linguistic Course at Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas. Paul was a command language program manager with the 324th Intelligence Squadron in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and managed over 220 personnel conducting Air Force and National Security Agency cryptologic missions. He ensured that airmen were properly organized, trained, and equipped to execute the squadron's computer network exploitation, special signals analysis, and expeditionary signals intelligence missions. Sergeant Moss advised the squadron commander on issues affecting the conduct of the mission and guided personnel on professional development and career progression issues. His assignments included multiple tours at Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickman, and Fort Meade, Maryland, supporting National Security Agency missions, as well as the special duty tour at Goodfellow Air Force Base in Texas as an instructor. Prior to being selected for the Command Language Program Manager position, Sergeant Moss was assigned as a senior enlisted leader for air operations at National Security Agency, Hawaii. Master Sergeant Moss is currently working in the Human Resources Department as a personnel specialist in the area of certification. Paul creates and maintains applicant and employee databases district-wide. Additionally, he handles critical salary education, hiring, verification data for teachers and athletic coaches. Sergeant Moss also assists in recruitment via networking, job fairs, and other promotional activities. Master Sergeant Moss is married to his wife, Mary, and they are proud parents of two twin 20-year-old boys, Ryan and Eric. Unfortunately, they were unable to attend tonight, but Paul is joined by his supervisor, Carolyn Heavey, and some of his workmates, Elena Wakeland, Michelle Green, and Daisy Benway. Congratulations and thank you, Paul, for our service to our great nation.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin, Dr. Calderon, and school board members. First, I'd like to say, Master Sergeant Moss, thank you for your service. Sable Point Elementary School is here tonight and extremely excited to accept the generous donation of $74,109 from the Gardner family, the Broad family, and Jump'em. Chris Gardner, Sarah Gardner, and Hannah Neihart are here with us tonight. Sable Point Elementary is extremely grateful for your generosity, and this financial contribution will significantly enhance the students' educational experience at Sable Point Elementary School. These funds will be used to support the following. We will be installing one new computer lab that will consist of 26 Dell laptops and 26 headphones in honor of Hannah Neihart. Our two existing computer labs that we have are going to be disbanded, and those computers will be able to be dispersed into the classrooms. In addition, we will be purchasing 102 laptops plus headphones to build out 7 mobile lab carts equipped with computers for each grade level. So on behalf of everyone at Sable Point Elementary, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to your family and your thoughtfulness and generosity. We look forward to seeing the positive and uplifting progress that your wonderful donation is helping our school and our community. And at this time, we'd like for you to come up so that we can recognize you.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin and board members. The district has actively pursued rebates for thermal energy storage systems or ICE plants on campuses within the FP&L service area that were scheduled in the capital budget for major renovation, remodeling, or for new construction. These systems have exhibited a positive return on investment as a result of a short payback period, significant energy savings, and especially coupled with the partnership with FP&L's rebate program. At the New Millennium Middle School, an ICE plant was part of the design and the construction contract that included an extensive upgrade of capacity increase to the existing plant, which we had at neighboring Midway Elementary School. The end result of the project is a shared central energy plant between both campuses, which house 21 ICE storage tanks. This system allows for the district to make ICE during FP&L's off-peak hours during the evening, and then during the daytime, during on-peak hours, to use that ICE in order to cool our facilities. FP&L wishes at this point to present to the district a rebate check in the amount of $609,000 related to this capacity shift. In addition, the energy savings on an annual basis will be over $135,000 a year, and which gives us a 4-year payback. I have a large team today, since it's a large check. I want to make sure that we identify the FP&L representatives: Tony Tucci, Linda Webster, Mal Locke, and Chi Louis this morning or this evening. Our architect, Dan Tarzinski, is here. The mastermind behind this, the mechanical engineer, Ryan Strandquist, is here today as well. Ron DeVoli, Darren Crafton, Paul Folks, with the construction manager, Wharton Smith, are here. And we also have Roy Burkert with SI Goldman, and Tim Goff, who is the SCPS project manager.
Hey, good morning. Good evening, school board members, Dr. Griffin, Mr. Godrow, and special guest. This evening, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to the school board of Seminole County, Anna Marie Nieves. She is a junior at Lake Brantley High School. Mom and Dad, come on. Anna Marie represented the United States and the state of Florida in the Special Olympics World Games held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. This was the first Special Olympics to take place in the Middle East, North Africa region, and was the largest Olympic events in history. Anna Marie Nieves has been involved with Special Olympics for 10 years and attended the 2019 World Games for rhythmic gymnastics this past spring. Anna Marie took home the following awards. She took home 2 bronze medals, 2 fourth-place medals, and 1 eighth-place medal. Anna Marie Nieves currently has a GPA of 3.829, and tonight is with her mother and father, Mrs. Ann Nieves and Mr. Omar Nieves. And Mr. Nieves is currently a retired Altamont Springs Police Department and was the former SRO at Lake Brantley and a retired Lake Brantley graduate as well, or former Lake Brantley graduate. Anna Marie, you have made Lake Brantley High School and the School Board of Seminole County proud of your accomplishments, both athletically and academically. Thank you for continuing to set the example for others to follow. We are proud of you.
Dr. Griffin and school board members, I have several athletic teams, individuals, and coaches to recognize tonight at the high school level. First, from Lake Mary High School, the state champion competition cheerleading squad from Lake Mary High School, the Lake Mary High School Rams. Lake Mary High School competition cheer team, coached by Paige Black, is made up of 34 girls in grades 9 through 12. Their hard work and determination paid off as they won the state championship title for the third straight year in the 2A extra large division. State finals were held at the University of Florida and continues to get larger and more competitive each year. We are so proud of this team, and they are Anna Blake, Jamani Brown, Lauren Conklin, Brooke Deming, Julia Dos Santos, Kaylin Gieslin, Ansley Goldstein, Allie Gruber, Faith Hayden, Kenzie Hunt, Maya Ibeson, Kendall Jabe, Cameron Koski, Michaela Kunkel, Gianna Lepore, Kelly Marla, Bailey Maston, Sydney Medor, Gianna Miel, Mia Mortensen, Julie Murphy, Kennedy Murray, Hannah Otera, Cameron Pilcher, Caroline Rivas, Alexis Ross, Arden Russo, Lauren Scott, A.K. Stoner, Emily Underwood, Jessica Velez, Marissa Vinico, Izzy Watson, and Riley West. Congratulations, state champion competition cheer from Lake Mary High School. Also here are Principal Mickey Reynolds and Athletic Director Doug Peters. Next up, also from Lake Mary High School, state champions boys soccer. The Lake Mary boys soccer team recently became local legends after winning every possible trophy during their 2018 and 19 season. They finished with a record of 24 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. The Rams only conceded 29 goals while scoring 115 during their campaign. They became Seminole Athletic Conference champions, 5A District 3 champions, 5A Region 1 champions, and also FHSAA 5A state champions. While doing so, they became not only the first boys soccer team from Lake Mary High School to win the state championship, but the first Seminole County boys soccer team to do so in the 43-year history of the FHSAA. Congratulations, the boys soccer team. They are Michael DeMarco, Andrew Helfrich, Christian Lozano, Jack Ireland, Kurt Campbell, Daniel Roca, Samuel Roca, Bezu Kushin, Justin Dorman, Zachary Helfrich, Pedro Lamaris, Chase Burden, Jordan Flores, Kleber Guerrera, Justin Morales, Carlos Munez, Steele Norton, Damian Walraven, Johan Appel, Luke Chappell, Fitzum Cushion, Angel Flores, Ben Fouquet, Riley Triplett, Nazar Ruque, and Guidel Santiago. Coaches, Eric Selleck, Richard Colon, Mike Dunlap, Adrian Love, and Steve Lyons. And, of course, also in the audience, Principal Mickey Reynolds and Athletic Director Doug Peters. And we have more state champions. From Haggerty High School, girls weightlifting, Cheyenne Ducharme, the 110 weight class state champion. Cheyenne was Seminole Athletic Conference champion, district champion, regional champion. She had a state record for her weight class with 335 pounds with 165 bench and 170 clean and jerk, and her bench tied the state record for an individual lift. Congratulations, Cheyenne. Our coaches here could not make it tonight, but representing administration, we have Miss Christy Bryce from Haggerty High School. Congratulations, state champion Cheyenne Ducharme. Also from Haggerty High School, state champion wrestling Ryan Rowland, 106 pound weight class, state champion. Ryan was the SAC champion, the district champion, the regional champion, and of course the state champion. With him tonight, his coach, Scotty Diaz. Also representing Haggerty High School administration, we have Miss Christy Bryce. Congratulations, state champion Haggerty High School wrestling Ryan Rowland. And our next recognition, this person's been up here quite a few times, but it's never enough. We'd like to represent from Oviedo High School volleyball coach Jen Daugherty, the National High School Coaches Association. Yes, that's National High School Coaches Association is proud to announce Jen Daugherty of Oviedo High School as National High School Volleyball Coach of the Year. Jen led Oviedo to the 2018 Florida Class 9A state title, which was her second in 8 years as head coach. The Lions were ranked number 1 in the state when they beat Palm Beach Gardens High School in the state championship. She has also been honored as the 2018 Florida Dairy Farmers Girls Volleyball Coach of the Year. Congratulations, Jen. Here tonight also from Oviedo High School, Principal Joe Tribus, National Volleyball Coach of the Year, Jen Daugherty.
All here. Okay. Dr. Griffin, do you have a recommendation for a consent agenda, please?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair. My recommendation is that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Dr. Griffin, do you have any recommendation on our student discipline, please?
Yes, I do. My recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations for March 4th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. This is now our public comment section of our meeting this evening. If anyone wishes to address the board, there are sign-up sheets in the back, and please deliver them to our clerk of the board. Mrs. Ullman, if you could please share our public comment section.
Thank you. The public input segment of the meeting is provided for the purpose of permitting persons to present specific matters to the board for its consideration and action or referral to the superintendent and his staff. The public input segment of the meeting is not open to presentations of campaign issues by political candidates, matters involving student disciplinary actions, pending employee disciplinary matters, or pending litigation. Each individual member of the public is limited to 3 minutes. A designated group representative may have up to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First up will be Dawn Ballou, and then on deck is Mr. Dan Smith, please. Welcome.
Not quite that tall. Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. You'll find, hopefully, on your desk a few handouts that I left earlier with the clerk. As noted earlier, I'm a local group lead from Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. And sadly, gun violence has once again visited Seminole County. Just a few short weeks ago, as you know, there was a gun suicide on one of our campuses. I'd like to publicly extend my condolences to the family as well as the greater school community. That said, I certainly respect the privacy of the family and HIPAA regulations as far as that goes. What I would like to speak a little more broadly about is gun suicide and prevention. Specifically, what we need to understand about gun suicide is that the manner matters. Suicide by gun is significantly more fatal than any other attempt. And for that reason, it's very important we consider that as a piece of the prevention model. Secondly, what we know statistically is that child gun suicides, the minor accesses the gun normally from the home or from the home of a close family member. Again, I'm speaking generally. This is statistical fact. For that reason, I believe we need to do a better job of parent education to prevent this kind of gun violence. And as an activist and an advocate, I'd like to offer the program, the Be Smart for Kids program, that you have handouts in front of you. Specifically, this addresses the adult responsibility to secure any weapons in the home, to be responsible gun owners, to talk to other parents and to other caregivers to make sure they also secure their weapons. Coincidentally, the night of the incident, we were tabling at the PTA Reflections Expo, and a number of parents that I spoke with said, well, my goodness, of course, of course we can take this simple task on and talk to one another and be more responsible to prevent further violence and further not only gun suicide, but also unintentional shootings. That's also very important. You'll notice there are print materials available for this program. There is a website. It is a nonprofit website. I would propose to you that you would consider a link on the SCPS, website to this informational nonprofit to help parents learn how to keep all of our children safe.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate the handouts and your input.
As a representative, I believe I can speak to my second item.
Okay.
Is that correct? Right?
If
As a
you-
representative of a
if you
group?
have
Yes.
a
I have one other item,
Sure.
which is under consideration of this week, very timely. As you probably know, our Florida legislature is currently in session, and they are considering two bills, both in the Senate and the House, regarding opening up the Guardian program to classroom teachers. This is of a great concern to all of us and runs contrary to all of your stated positions that classroom teachers should primarily teach. That is their job. We have a terrific program with the SROs. They handle security, and our teachers teach. So the second piece of the information I provided to you is an ask that you sign a joint letter. It is not a proclamation. It is simply a letter to our lawmaking leaders saying this is not the way to go. Okay, arming teachers, expanding the Guardian program into the classroom is not the way to go. So I am asking you to please sign this joint letter, which has a very broad coalition behind it, including state PTA, including the Florida Coalition Against Gun Violence, March for Our Lives. They are holding a rally tomorrow morning in Tallahassee on this exact topic. The National Board of SROs is against this idea. There's simply no evidence that this will make our schools safer. In fact, it is likely to bring up greater risk in the form of unintentional shooting, workplace shooting, potential domestic violence, because simply a good guy with a gun is only a good guy until he makes a bad decision. And when we start putting that into non-law enforcement hands, that opens us up to an unacceptable level of risk. So I ask you to please consider this joint letter. You will have the text in front of you, as well as the letter asking and a fact sheet regarding the dangers that this poses to our children, to our teachers, and all of our staff. Finally, I will be providing this to you electronically after the meeting because it does have a hyperlink. It only takes a moment, but I did want you to have the text in front of you of the joint letter so that you could evaluate it. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer, either on the Be Smart program or on the joint letter.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Dan Smith, please.
Good evening. My name is Dan Smith. I live in Longwood, Florida. I am employed by Seminole County Public Schools. I'm a teacher at Lake Brantley High School. I'm also a parent. I had 2 children graduate through the system, which is pretty good. I'm here tonight also just regarding arming teachers. It was a big vote this week, and I'm very happy that last year you publicly led that you would not implement this program, which I think is smart. I guess I didn't anticipate the fact this is just going to keep coming back every year. I don't know what I was thinking, so I'm here again. For certain pieces, there's not really any good reasons to arm our staff and teachers. There isn't any data that shows the schools are going to be safer by arming staff or teachers. And yes, there are voices that are asking to arm teachers, but I think it's out of desperation because it's scary. This is a very scary time. Some of you know, I was a New York City teacher for 10 years before I came down here, and I worked in one school that was pretty bad. I felt very safe in the school, but unfortunately the walk from the school to my car was always a little bit of a risk. But at that time, the experts, and that would include Superintendent Rudy Crew, UFT President Randy Weingarten, and at the time Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, none of them would ever consider arming any of their 56,000 teachers. There just wasn't any good way to come across this. And I'm hoping, you've given us no reason to think that you would allow it, but we're hoping that you guys will publicly state that you do not want to arm teachers for any reason. I've been doing this almost 27 years now. It took me probably, I'd say 9 years, but maybe 26 years to hit my stride as a teacher, okay? 127 hours in a web link is not going to make us security guards. It's going to take a while. We need law enforcement in the school. The sheriff's expansion is very good, and we're very comfortable with that. But arming the teachers and staff, there just really isn't any good reason to do that. None of us have those skills to even a righteous shoot to survive that. Anyway, I'm hoping you do the same thing, and I'm hoping that you state it publicly. Thank you as always.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And I don't have any other comment cards, Ms. Clerk. Thank you. And any unfinished new business or superintendent's report, please, Dr. Griffin?
The only thing we had, there were 3 items under superintendent report, and they are read-only items.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to board member comments. Vice Chairman Almond, please.
Thank you. So April is Preventing Child Abuse Month. So pinwheels for prevention. You might look around town and see pinwheels on certain properties like the Sheriff's Department, Kids House, and a lot of nonprofits and educational facilities. So that's what it is in support of. And we also had a resolution in our agenda today that we approved. Fortunately for me, being the first person, I get to say what a wonderful experience for our Night of Stars, honoring our non-instructional Employee of the Year, Crystal Lynn Haynes from Greenwood Lakes Middle School. Kudos to the team that put together the event, all the support staff and administration. They did a wonderful job. It was really nice for the families to be able to come out and support.
Really nice.
Insurance and wellness. We're going to have a joint work session May the 28th, so I look forward to that. And we had our work session with Cigna today. That was very informative. And the district initiative for wellness and benefits will be working on more information being on the website rather than having to spend so much time going out onto each of the school campuses, although they will still continue to do that. And Casbury Chamber last month, I participated in a panel with the mayor, the city manager, the police chief, and the city planner, and it was on growth. And so since I live in Casbury, they were really concerned about that. And that's what I have to report.
Great, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Mrs. Pennick, please.
Well, I'm just going to share one thing because we've all been to all of the same, so I'll let you guys talk about some of the other events. But last Friday at our foundation board meeting, we had a presentation by the Fin Department. And she talked about what we're doing to help support wraparound services for all of our homeless families. Some of the statistics that we had were we have over 1,400 homeless students. We have about 120 unaccompanied youth who are kind of couch surfing until they get through. We have 108 seniors that are homeless that we're hoping to walk across the stage. But what the wonderful story, the outcome of this presentation is, as she was leaving, ran into one of our families in the hallway, and she brought her in. This mother of 8 had become homeless in September. And through the work with the Fin Department and our new partnership with Goodwill, found a job and moved into their house just a week ago.
Oh, that's great.
So it was a great success story to hear about all the extra work that we do above and beyond just educating our students to make sure that our families have a good, solid home to go home to so they can get rest and come back and be educated the next day. So that's all of my update.
Mrs. Sanchez, please.
That's beautiful. Along that line, I have the opportunity once a month to go to the outreach mission and help serve the homeless and feed them. And if anybody ever wants to join me or any of us, it's a great opportunity to help our community out. I'm going to go ahead and do my committee reports first. Take stock in children. We had our meeting last week. We're raising quite a bit of money, and we're looking for more mentors. I think I ask about that, ask constantly for more mentors. So we're contacting the Beta Chi retired teachers, as well as there's new teachers in there as well, or current teachers. And we're looking to see if we can get any mentors, and we will be distributing awards. We divvied out our group the other morning, so all of us will be doing awards at Senior Awards Night to help those families and the children that have gone through the program from 9th to 12th grade. And anybody that wants to know more about the Take Stock in Children program, you can pull it up on the foundation website. Also, the Reflections Arts program that we all went to, that was wonderful. Of course, we were able to see it in our new Lake Brantley auditorium. So it was a pleasure being in there. We were able to honor many of the students in their artwork and just realize that how important the arts are to Seminole County Public Schools. I know everybody has so many things that they have. The Employee of the Year event was amazing. The team and Grace, just absolutely one of the best programs I've ever been to. So kudos to the team that put it on and to Grace for leading that. This weekend, Crossroads Corral, that's a Leadership Seminole program that I'm in, and many other people in the community. They use horses for therapy for children and for adults with any kind of trauma or stress, anxiety, and disorders and things like that. That is this weekend. It's a full-day event, and the information is online at just Crossroads Corral, and they'll have pony rides, face painting, and all kinds of different things for the kids and adult activities as well. Along that line, I just want to welcome Mr. Dunlop to Rock Lake Middle School. I had a visit with him, and we have a Business Advisory Board meeting tomorrow, and AP Senior Art Exhibit coming up in a couple days. And also one more thing, the Parent Behavior Workshop, which I'd like to see more of these as well. That's going to be Saturday at the Westside Community Center from 10:30 to 3 p.m., and that's in Sanford. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Kraus.
Thank you. I had the honor of attending a cluster SAC meeting at Oviedo High School. They hosted it. It included Oviedo, Jackson Heights, Stenstrom, Geneva, Lawton, Caroline. And we learned so much about their efforts, both in the testing realm as well as safety and just basic needs. So I look forward to meeting with Dr. Griffin and going over some of that. I attended the Lake Howell High School faculty alumni versus the student basketball game. That was so much fun. Faculty won. Yeah. So that was a good time, and their art teacher, Sandra Rivas-Cole, was the announcer, and she's hysterical.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Yeah, she provoked quite a bit. I attended the Community Leadership Academy this past Friday, and it was about the transportation to learn about some of our clean energy buses. And I did not know this. We travel 40,000 miles per day on our buses. 40,000. That's a new set of tires. Anyway, today I had the honor of going to Lyman and getting a tour of the Greyhound campus. They have a fabulous environmental and engineering, ESE, and culinary programs that are growing, and it was an honor to be there with them. Personally, I am signing the letter from Don Ballou, and I will deliver that to her, opposing arming teachers, and I urge my fellow board members to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Well, today I'm wearing blue for a specific reason, to shed the light on autism awareness. When we say all means all, that's what we do in Seminole County Public Schools, right? So I want to give a shout out to First Baptist Church in Longwood, who is so very supportive of Longwood Elementary School. Over spring break, they gave food for the week to many of their families and cooked breakfast for them, and we were honored to just be there to support them. Also in Altamont, they held Unity Day at the Boys and Girls Club that was very well attended, and it was great that we had a lot of different of our departments even there to show the families how much we will surround them with love and education and things like that. Our prayer breakfast this year was very well attended by many of our school officials. And shout out to Captain Francis and your team for conducting a phenomenal SRO training during spring break. It was tough to have to watch it, but I'm glad that we have the best of the best protecting our students. So thank you for your leadership in that realm. Mayors and managers this month, as you know, we just have open discussions every month now. It's no set agenda, so the topic that came up this month was on websites and being ADA compliant, and almost all the cities in the county are actively in suits at some stage or another. So we try to work collaboratively and share best practices amongst each other, and I'll keep you updated with that as the outcomes come from that. And putting on my other hat, I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Lorenz. She had a phenomenal inauguration and very well attended by the community. And thank you, Dr. Griffin, for walking in the processional line. But a lot of pomp and circumstance, but I'm really looking forward to the continued collaboration between Seminole State College and Seminole County Public Schools, and I feel confident with the leadership of Dr. Lorenz and Dr. Griffin. Our future in this community is exceptional when it comes to education. Our elementary math festival was this weekend, and boy, do we have some smart mathletes out there, and the top prize went to Heathrow Elementary School. And last but not least, also on Saturday, the ESSS department hosted a phenomenal transition fair. I know we all attended, and to see the community outreach of so many organizations that are willing to make sure that all of our students have a bright and successful future. And thank you personally to Mrs. Almond. I know you connected Grow, a nonprofit in the area, with them, and there wasn't a family that didn't walk out with a new pair of sneakers. So that really meant a lot to all of the families. And my last committee report would be on the zoo, and the favorite thing that anybody does on a board is what? Review bylaws. That's what we're doing right now at the zoo. So if there's any difference in relationships between the zoo and the school board, I'll be sure to share it. But again, thank you for your support and all of that. Okay, Dr. Griffin.
Board members, I just want to publicly thank some people. I'm always afraid to thank people because I'm going to forget somebody. But the day of the tragedy at Lake Mary, Mike Gaudreau, my entire cabinet, Dr. Walsh and all the mental health counselors. The team just rallied around at Lake Mary High School to keep things organized. Captain Francis, Sheriff, the Sheriff's Department, just absolutely phenomenal. Lake Mary's staff, and I can go on and on and on. But who never gets thanks are each of you, and what people don't see behind the scenes. First of all, your genuine kindness, your concern, all of you changing your plans to be a part of some piece of that, either the day that we all were there. Remember, I came in from Tallahassee. The next day, we served lunch and spent time with the faculty. The day the students returned from school, publicly, I know you do it because it's in your heart and it's the right reason to do, but you don't have to do that. And I know that some of you had some personal plans, you really had to turn things around, but it means a lot to me personally as a superintendent that I work with a board that cares so much about our families, about our children, about our teachers, about the staff, and I just cannot thank you enough.
Our honor to serve. Anything else to come for the good of the cause? Seeing none, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, everyone.